Start. 2, 1, booster ignition, and liftoff of the Space Shuttle Discovery, returning to the space station, paving the way for future missions beyond. Roll for
So I want to do this brief introduction for today's video, showing what our plan of attack is for the day. We're going to start out with the RAV-2, which is a normal thing that we do, testing out the ACE unit. I've got a new RPM unit with new software installed, so we'll maybe get a little bit more accurate numbers on the altitude and the different variables in flight. But once we prove that that's working good, after a couple test flights with the RAV-2, I want to show off the universality of the ACE unit by removing it from the from the RAV, and applying it to my other BT-60 rockets. And I'll show you on video how I do the swap out, but we're going to remove it from the RAV. We're going to install it on the top of my Hi-Flier XL. Then we'll do a flight with my VK7 twin cluster motor setup, and then lastly my Citation Patriot. And I just want to show the ability of removing this from one rocket and simply plugging it into the next rocket without any problems whatsoever. We're going to try different configurations of motors. Like I said, we've got a dual C motor here. This is an 18 millimeter. We're probably going to go with the Quest D motor. And with the Hi-Flier XL, that's the same as the RAV-2. But I also want to do some testing today with D motors, not just E motors, but D. So we'll probably do that on the RAV-2. But again, just want to show off the versatility of the ACE unit and what it's capable of doing. So let's get to the pad and start launching. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, here we have the first flight of the day running the RAV-2, and this is pretty much standard practice flight. Just testing out the RPM, making sure the new software works with the ACE deployment. I do have the backup charge just in case with another 24-inch chute, one in each bay there. I was able to, I hope, resurrect an old camera that wasn't working, but I did some work on it last night, and I've got an old Astrocam at the bottom that is looking upward. I've got my standard 808 camera looking downward. So we're going to try a dual camera on this one. There's absolutely no wind. Running an E12.6. Skies are clear. Altimeters are armed. We are going in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, looks like we had the ACE. Good deal. I'm not sure why the backup didn't work, but that's okay, because we're counting on the ACE to do its job, which it did. Touchdown. All right, let's go see what we got. I'm curious why the backup didn't go, though. It was on an E12.6, and yeah, it should have at least released the booster on the bottom, but didn't do it. Kind of strange. But hey, we proved the ACE's effectiveness, though. That's the primary goal. But there she is. Everything looks intact. Everything looks good. Let's just make sure the motor did. Yep, the motor did spin. Yeah, kind of curious why the backup didn't deploy, but that's okay. So off to a good start. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, here's flight 2 for the day, and something I've always wanted to kind of try and do and not have done before is try a D motor. This is a D12-3. I just want to prove that even with the weight of the Ace, even a D motor will get this up to where it needs to be. We're in the 400s altitude with an E motor, so we should be, I'm hoping a little over 200 on this climb up. A little different configuration on the camera. I'm just not having any luck with those little Astrocams. They're not reliable, they don't work, the batteries don't last at all. So I'm trying to mount the 808 camera on the bottom looking up to try to get the CG a little bit better so it won't arc over into the wind quite as much. So hopefully we'll get a straighter flight. I'm also not running the backup chute at all. We are relying 100% solely on the Ace to give us our deployment. So with that, we are armed, skies are clear, winds are calm. We're going in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, well, the backup charge did eject the lower tube, but the Ace still did its job, so we're good to go there. All right, nice touchdown. The D motor does work. I won't lie to you, I was a little nervous there when the 3-second delay fired. The lower body tube ejected off and there was no chute in there. And then I'm like, come on Ace, do your job, and the Ace did its job. So we had a good result there in the end. And I could also say with certainty that the ejection charge did not dislodge the Ace, because the lower body tube had already departed the rocket long before the Ace deployed. So those were two separate, I don't want to say incidences, but situations. I can pretty much say the Ace did not deploy because of the ejection charge jolt, so that's a good sign as well. So walking up on it, it is curious that it did what it did, but yeah, the motor. See these notch marks? You hear me talking about the alignment. When those two black lines are in alignment, that's when the polarities work for the magnets to hold it on. This inner rotor right here, when it rotates, it releases the magnets inside, pushing the cover off. So by saying that those notches are not aligned, tells me that the motor did spin. So that's what I'm looking for. Everything looks good. The motor did stay in, even though I left the cap off. It decided to eject the lower tube instead. Oh, we did get this fin is loose. That's unfortunate, but easy repair, really easy to repair. But I'm curious why the motor just kind of got stuck in there, kind of tight fit, I guess. But let me turn the camera off. But all in all, everything did its job. So we're 2 for 2. Good flight. Three, two, one. Okay, I want to do a brief tutorial on how easy it is to swap out the Ace unit to any other BT-60 rocket that you've got to fly with. So we just finished flying the RAV-2 with the D motor on it, and now we're going to fly the Hi-Flier XL with an E. Now I want to show you how we disconnect everything and then reconnect. So you simply twist the Ace off of the lower body tube. Okay. Then we just want to disconnect our snap swivel, releasing it from the lower tube. Okay. Now we can set this aside. Okay. Then we take our new rocket, remove the nose cone. Okay, we want to disconnect the snap swivel on the nose cone. Set that aside. Now you can use the original nose cone, or you can just use the one that's on the Ace. As long as it's a BT60, it's going to fit regardless. And then we just hook the snap swivel onto the Ace. Set it inside. Twist it in. And now you've got the Ace ready to go on another BT60 rocket. Now you can see it adds a good, 8 to 10 inches in total, but that's nothing for these D's and E motors to carry. And of course, all that weight's up front, so you're going to gain stability, not lose stability. So if you've got a BT60 rocket that's rather unstable and it needs nose weight, the Ace might be just the ticket to get that weight up front to where you want it. So there we go. Now we're going to fly the Hi-Flier XL. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, now we have something completely different. We've got a Hi-Flier XL with the Ace attached to it. Now, I have flown the Hi-Flier XL before with the RPM, but that's when I had cut down the body tube till it was pretty much the same as what the RAV-2 body tube looks like. But now we're running a full-size XL with the added Ace on top. I've got no chute in the lower tube. We're just relying on the Ace for deployment. But yeah, as you saw in the previous clip, it's an easy swap out. You can adapt this to any BT60 rocket. So with that, we're scanning the skies. Skies are clear. We are running an E12.6 on this flight. And no, correction, E12.4. We're running a 12.4 on this one. Jolly Logic 2 up in the nose cone, RPM as well. Skies are still clear, winds are calm. We are going in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, now if I can just find it, there it is. It worked perfectly. The Ace did its job. Now we did have an ejection charge, which makes me wonder if the motor is still in the motor tube. If it is, that's okay. I was hoping it'd come out because I didn't put the cap on it. But there we have another successful Ace flight. All right, let's go get it. One thing I didn't mention, but you probably noticed, I had the camera lower down on the body tube as well. It wasn't up near the top, but I had it facing downwards, so we're not going to capture any video of the Ace deploying, but I did want to capture some video of the ground and the ascent, and then hopefully the descent as well. But no, that was from my perspective, a flawless flight. I was very impressed. Now, finding the rocket amongst all this mess. A lot of trash out here. Oh, there it is. Walked right up on it. Oh, we busted a fin. Oh, man. Well, that's what happens when you fly in rock. But that's not the first time that fin's been broken off, I don't imagine. So let's test the Ace out, make sure. Yep, see how the notch marks are not aligned anymore either. So the Ace did its job. Did the motor come out? Yeah, the motor did come out, so that's good. made it a little bit lighter on the descent. So, wow, look at, that's a long cord, but great flight. We're plugging right along here. Five, four, three, two, one. Okay, next up we've got the Citation Patriot, and you can see obviously the extended body with that ace on top. And this was as easy a swap out as it was when I went from the RAV-2 to the Hi-Flier XL. Same process. So now this rocket happens to be an 18mm motor, so the best I can do is a D from Quest. So I'm running a D16-4. And one thing to think about too is it really doesn't matter if you're worried, well, what if it doesn't get high enough for the ejection charge, blah, blah, blah. This ace unit's going to detect apogee no matter if it goes 500 feet or 50 feet. So we should have no problem getting a deployment up at apogee. We've got the camera facing downward, so we're not going to capture the ace deploying, but we pretty much know it works now. I've also got the Jolly Logic 2 on board for comparison. So we're doing pretty good today. I don't want to jinx it, but hopefully we'll have similar results. Let me adjust this camera. I just noticed my camera's a little askew here. Let's get that straight. There's a little behind the scenes for you, but I don't want to miss any aspect of the launch. Okay, that being said, skies are clear, winds are calm. We're going in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Voila! Look at that. To perfection. Beautiful. Now I will admit I'm a little surprised that the bottom half did break off from the ace, because I actually taped it shut. So apparently the ejection charge was strong enough to bust that tape off. Hope we didn't do any damage to the rocket body, but it looks okay. Oh look, okay, so I ran the electrical tape, but the ace just slipped right out from it. But that's okay. I mean, everything worked. Let me turn off the camera here. So you saw on the D motor, and it ejected as well. It's not in there anymore. But the D motor had a very quick, short, but hot burn. So our altitude's not going to be much to brag about, but you saw that the ace did its job. So again, 50 feet or 500 feet, it's going to deploy it at or just below apogee. So with that, let's move on to the next flight. So far, so good. Three, two, one. Okay, and for our final flight of the day, I'm running my Rocketarium VK7, and this might be the test flight of all test flights. I got a lot of different things going on here. It is the standard rocket tube with the ace on top with the 24-inch chute. I'm running twin C6-7s. Now you're probably thinking 7's a little bit of a long delay, and it is for that weight, I agree. But I definitely want to get the ace ejection first. That's the point. And assuming it does its job, it'll still be airborne at the 7-second mark. So I'll still get the discharge. Now I want this to deploy because I've got two 18-inch parachutes in the lower body tube. So eventually we'll have a 24-inch on the ace and two 18 inches on the bottom. Just something fun to do, a little bit different, little testing here. Hopefully we'll get some good altitude with those 2C motors. I'm not, again, looking for any more than a few hundred feet at the most, probably 200, but because it's heavy, no doubt about that. But it'll be fun to see what we get. Jolly Logic up in the nose cone as well. So with that, scanning the skies, we are clear. We're armed. We are going in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It worked just in time, but it worked. That was awesome. I hope you guys enjoyed that as much as I did. That was fun. That was really, really cool to see. Everything worked to perfection. Ace did its job, the two motors did their job, the two 18 inches came out. We still got smoke coming out, see that? They're still smoking hot. That was a fun flight. So guys, thanks for joining me today. The ace is really proving itself, and we're getting some great results out of the RPM as well. We're getting comparable numbers to the Jolly Logic 2, so all in all, a great day of flying. That was awesome. 3, 2, 1.